Question 22. This looks a little tricky. We're asked to evaluate this integral and no limit, so we will have plus a constant, remember. Notice there is a constraint because if x were negative 9/4, we would have a division by 0. We'd get 0 in the denominator. That's a protection, so don't worry too much about that. But the thing is what do we do with this? Do we make it a negative exponent around the denominator, move it up? Well, whenever we have a variable in the denominator like this, especially a singular one, remember this is a derivative of something. And so what we want to think about, well, what would make a derivative to move something to the bottom? Well, remember natural log, whatever's in here, nice happy little function, when you take its derivative, it's still happy, but it goes into the basement. Okay, that's what happens when you take a derivative. Whatever's in here goes into the basement. Now remember, with chain rule, what happens, and you also multiply by the derivative of the function itself. Now I'm not sure if the function's still happy to have that done. I've never had a derivative taken of me, so we'll just put a serious face on it. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a derivative. And look at down here. What's the derivative of the bottom? 4. Ooh, that's up there in the top. That looks like that's what happened. And so what you really want to think is, what would happen if I take 9 plus 4x and I took the natural log of that and I took the derivative of this whole monstrosity? Well, the inside stuff all goes down into the basement, and then I multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is just 4. So then that's what I got. That's what I got. So what we've got is we're starting with this and we're being asked to go back here. So hopefully you can see that the integral of 4 over 9 plus 4x is going to be natural log of 9 plus 4x. That's the now you could make some u substitutions and stuff, which sometimes is helpful if this is a little bit more complicated, but this one's really fairly simple. We just say that's got to be like the natural log of something. There's its derivative, so when we integrate it, it really is just going to become natural log of that basement. We got to just kind of see it's, a substitution. This would be u, so that'd be natural log of u. So you'd see it and all the pieces would get fits. But again, I always found that to be more complicated myself. And that's it. Because there's no limits or anything. This is what it is. Okay, so watch for that. And again, we don't spend a lot of time on the natural log. It sort of just is because it is. And so it's something we have to accept, and so that means it doesn't sit deep into our cognitive memory field. It just kind of feels like that was something I had to memorize, and it sort of is until you use it enough, and then you just start seeing this relationship. When you take the derivative of natural log, we get this. It's down in the basement times the derivative of the inside stuff because of the chain rule. And then, so derivative, you're going backwards. And backwards is always hard. And sometimes it takes a little bit of faith. When you're backing up. My brother is really good at backing. He drives a forklift. He does all sorts of heavy equipment. And I'll tell you, he got in my, I had a Suburban SUV back in 20 years ago, an old one, so I guess it wasn't too bad. But get the brother in the truck, he could back that thing up quick. It scared me, but he knew what he was doing, looking in that mirror and stuff. But it takes a little bit of experience to go backwards. That's the picture I'm going to get is, but there's people that get really good at going backwards because he was also a good driver going forwards. I mean, he could go both directions, and that's what we're asking you to do here is be able to take derivatives and integrals and just realize that it's a two-way street. We can go both ways between the two. I guess I should put it here, that there's that connection. There is a process in between. We're switching into reverse one way or the other. But as you start to see that, then you gain some skills in your thinking abilities that really open up a lot of creative thinking for you in your careers. All right, thank you.